Whoa! Look at it climb! Wow!
Now folks, before we get to that, we have to thank today's sponsor, which is Vita Hustle. Vita Hustle is an all-in-one super drink with vegan protein and 86 superfoods, vitamins and minerals, probiotics, and adaptogens to seize your day. Vita Hustle was co-founded and developed by Kevin Hart in his search to find an easier way to stay healthy and energized. It's the most nutrient-dense and all-in-one superfood drink on the planet. It's sourced from the highest quality ingredients from around the world, no added sugar, and it tastes great. And you can make it with water, or you can add it into your regular smoothie recipe. I can tell you from my own personal experience, diet has a huge effect on your mood. And if you're not eating right, you're probably feeling moody, foggy-brained, unproductive. And personally, I just can't find the time or motivation to make sure that I'm giving my body everything that it needs. Just one quick glass of the One in the morning powers you all day with 22 different vitamins and minerals. And if you're worried about your immune system, the One packs 100% of your recommended daily allowance of vitamins C, D, E, B6, and zinc. For a limited time, Kevin Hart is offering 20% off your first purchase of the One and site-wide at vitahustle.com with the code SAVAGE. The link is in the description down below. So folks, with all that being said, check the link in the description down below and take a look at Vita Hustle. I promise you're not gonna regret it. It's a phenomenal product. And now to the rest of the video. Welcome back folks to the channel. Today we are talking about something that is near and dear to my heart and has been on the channel a long time, and that's my S65. It has been a very long time since you've seen it, even in videos in the background, as a camera car, as just something that's being driven by somebody. It's been away for a moment. Most people would assume that the reason is because it's got a whole bunch of work that needs to be done, or it just hasn't been running right, it's been unreliable. No, I've just been driving other stuff. And when we moved back up to Maryland from Florida, this car spent a bunch of time just sitting. This car has had quite a history. For those who are new, this was the car that I ran from the cops in. It's the car that's followed us on so many different rallies, locally, not locally. It went with me on Crown Rally, where we essentially toured the entire West Coast. I mean, this thing has had, of the 11,000 miles I've put on it since buying it, about 8,000 of them, 9,000 of them have been all rallies, and that's keeping up with all the latest, greatest supercars, everything that, you know, the newest from Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren has to offer. This old boat keeps up. And I gotta tell you, if there's one thing that annoys people that buy really expensive supercars, it's when a 15-plus-year-old Mercedes keeps right up with them and does not leave their bumper. It makes me so happy. .4 horsepower from the factory, 730 pound-feet of torque from a V12 twin turbo, you know, that eventually made its way into the Pagani Huayra. But the thing is, this got a little tune on it. It goes a little faster than that. It makes, to the crank anyway, 670 horsepower and 840 pound-feet of torque. And yeah, it's amazing. It's treated me very, very well. And I'm very, very proud to own this car because there's so few of these. I didn't realize this, but with the S65s, there are only a total of 427 made of them. Most of them have ended up sitting in the back of shops at buy here, pay here car lots, have gone through Skate 8 auctions, I mean, they don't end up getting driven and maintained the way they should, because the car's market value is 15, 20, 25 grand. But you have one big thing fail on this, and it's half the value of the car to repair. And that's why these cars spend so much time sitting in the back of shops, or you just don't see them on the road. To this day, I've never seen another one of these on the road. And this is also in the color Flint Gray, which Flint Gray, I didn't realize it was this rare, but in 2006, they only made 47 in that color. So this is, I mean, not to overinflate, like, you know, this car that much, but this is kind of a rare car. I didn't realize that, but this is kind of a rare car. So I'm very proud to have this car and, you know, be the caretaker of this vehicle at this point. I'm the second owner now. And until I find somebody else that is going to take as good a care of this car as I am, I have no intention of selling it. And also just for the simple fact that I need a good rally car. And if there's one thing this thing is good for, it's rallies. So today, folks, what I want to do is do a POV drive in this car so you guys can also understand the power and awesomeness that this big old V12 twin turbo has to offer. It's so much fun to drive, and not for the reasons that you would expect it to be. You know, it doesn't handle like a sports car. It certainly doesn't handle like Rachel's, you know, Rachel's car, which looks really clean now. I think that's the first time like we've ever seen that thing that clean. But as I was saying, I really wanted to give you guys a POV drive of this car, show you what it's all about, and just give you the experience of being behind the wheel.
All right, folks, here we go. So we're gonna do a POV drive of this car now. Got the key. Unlock her, jump on in. All right, let's go and start it up. All right, now those who know these cars, you're probably wondering, well, why don't you use the button on the shifter to start it? Because you've got an engine start stop button right there. That's pretty cool. And you're right, I love this. It's very cool. The only thing is the what's it called? The button actually failed, so it doesn't start or stop the engine. And after driving this car as many miles as I have, I can tell you, you really don't want this to work, because the position it goes in, it is so easy to accidentally click that. So it's a really good thing this button doesn't actually work. You guys also notice I got a TPMS light here. I got one tire that has a leak in it that I need to repair or fix a flat in, but we'll get there. So anyway, we got our seatbelt on, take the handbrake off, which I already did, turn the parking sensors off because we don't need those right now, put her in drive. Okay, so we're on the road now in the 2006 S65 AMG, or as Blake and I call her, the mothership. You know, this car is, as I've mentioned earlier, you know, this car has treated us very, very well. And, you know, it's been on now, I've lost count of how many rallies, but it's been on a lot. And it hasn't given us one issue, other than me trying to flash the ECU in a parking lot and bricking it. But, you know, that was gold rush when we first got it. It got taken care of. But this car has never left us stranded just due to driving on a rally and then some kind of wear and tear. All I could say is this car, if there was one word to describe it, it's just smooth. First of all, in comfort, it will start in second gear. So if you look down here, DC, I click the shifter here to the left and it'll go into first. We'll start in first, but normally it starts in second. But you also, on the S65s, and I think the S55s have these too, you got paddle shifters, little clickers on the back here. Some people put the little larger shifters. I think they kind of look trashy, like at least on this car. Not my cup of tea. I'd rather just keep it stock. The clickers work perfectly fine. They're more of a suggestion anyway, because this car, the transmission takes a long time to shift. But the thing is, you don't really care in this car, because it's just meant, this is a highway car. This is a highway bombing car. It's one of the reasons I say I think this, you know, arguably one of the best rally cars of all time. But, you know, it's a highway car. You don't need it to shift that fast. As long as it propels forward, you're good to go. But you've got these paddles back here. You can click them and you'll see the readout change. Fourth gear, third gear, second gear. The other thing that is so incredible about these cars with the big V12s from Mercedes is the power delivery is so smooth. It seems like the car is putting in no effort. It's not struggling. You know, you floor it in, you know, a lot of these exotics, they make lots of noise, a lot of drama. This car, it's sort of like, oh, you want to go fast? No problem. So if this Toyota gets out of the way here, I can give you just a little bit of a taste of what's going on here. Well, let's get over to the right here and we'll just floor it for a sec. Just kick down. Whoa! You see, it's spun right there. And I mean, that was what, 45, 50 miles an hour? This car, it's got so much. The car has very, very good brakes, by the way. They're not cheap to replace. I think the rotors, to do all the rotors in this car, it's about $3,000, or maybe it's $3,000 for a set of two. Well, here's a good place. We can get a good pull here. So let's go from a stop. All right. We're gonna have it start in first, and it's probably gonna spin immediately. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Whoop, here we go. Whoa, look at it climb, wow. All right, now we hit the brakes. That's incredible. I mean, that was half pressure on the brakes there, folks. Now let's talk steering feel, because most people would assume this thing has zero steering feel and, you know, just handles like an absolute boat. Believe it or not, it actually handles really, really well for what it is. I mean, I honestly, the first time I drove this car, I was extremely surprised because it felt so much lighter on its feet than how big it is. I mean, it's a 4,600 pound car or whatever it may be, 4,700 pounds, but the ABC suspension that, you know, constantly is leveling the car, it keeps the car very planted at all times. In fact, if you're going around a bend at, like, let's say 60 miles an hour or something, like just a gradual bend, you can feel the car, like you can feel the suspension as you're going around a bend. You can feel the car compensating and like pushing up the left-hand side. Like, let's say I'm going around a bend, going to the right, and I'm turning in, and normally you'd expect the car to, you know, throw you to the left while, you know, you're up against the bolster of the seat. You can feel the car compensating for the turn. It's really impressive. So here's an example of where this car shines so well, right? So we're in the middle lane here, and so all of a sudden someone says, hey, you need to get behind that silver car. Okay, and I gotta do it before the exit comes up. No problem. I mean, the acceleration this car has, we're actually going to jump back over here because I don't want to sit in that. But the acceleration this car has, and it's unbelievable. The pull from like 20, 30 to 80, 100 miles an hour is absolutely incredible in this thing. So anyway, let's real quick talk about now some of the creature comforts in this car that really are awesome, and just things that I personally think just add to this car being such an incredible rally car. The seats in this thing. The seats in this car are really, really comfortable. They don't feel so much like lazy boy chairs. You know, the previous generation W140s, those cars have much more like lazy boy chairs. These you can adjust from lazy boy chair to, if you want, even a sports seat. I mean, you can really change the bolsters. I mean, the seat's got more controls down here than Carter's got pills. I don't know if you could see that on camera, but it's got so many different controls to set the bolsters up, set everything up the way you want to. And something that's really impressive about this, I think this was the first car that had it. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I know the new Benzes have them now, but this was one of the first Mercedes that had this feature. It's a dynamic mode for the seat, and you press the button, and as you go around a turn, I don't think there's going to be any way for me to show you this, folks, on camera, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. As I go around a corner and the car experiences some kind of G-forces, I turn and the bolster will inflate according to the corner you're going around. So if I make a left turn all of a sudden, like, the right bolster will inflate to keep me straight in the seat, and vice versa. If I make a right turn, the left bolster will inflate. So I'm actually going to turn that off, but that's something that's just really cool that I see on the new Benzes now, but this was back in 06 that it had this. So that's just awesome to me. So, you know, we're still in comfort mode, you know, starts in second gear. We also do have the sport mode, which, that's manual. Now drive sport, and the sport mode will hold the gears for a bit longer, but you know, we can just floor it through here. Hear a little noise. I know you can't see it's holding the gear still. God, when you get on the power, man, it's amazing. It really is. And it really does remind me of the Huayra. And it's not the same drama, it's not the same noises and, you know, all the different experiences and things you feel in that car, but the propulsion forward is very, very similar. And it's very special. It's very, very special. I absolutely love it. There is no other four-door sedan that I have driven that brings this much of a smile to my face because of the way it drives. Getting back to what I was saying, I talked about the seats being extremely comfortable. This car also just has a lot of great places to put stuff. So what do I mean by that? I mean, yeah, obviously there's a windshield, you could put foam mounts or whatever on there, but it's got a lot of other surfaces too. I mean, you can shove extra cigarette lighter or power
All right, folks, so there we have it. So I hope you enjoyed this little POV drive and also a short walk around of the S65. She's my baby. Very, like I said, very, very proud to be the caretaker of this car at the moment. And I'm gonna hold on to it for as long as I can or as long as it makes sense. I don't think there's many S65s from this era left in really good running condition like this one. It's a diamond in the rough, it's a gem. And I just don't want to preserve it because even 20 years from now, I feel like this is still going to be making people's jaws drop. Comment below what other POV drives you'd like to see and what other content you'd like to see with this car. I think we should start racing it up against stuff. Might start hurting some feelings, but you know, we'll see what happens. And one last thing, check out our merch store. We've got a brand new merch store now up and live, and it's got new products on it, and we're adding more as we speak. So take a look at that, see what that has to offer. And with all that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.